I don't know it's worth to ask, but you don't want to miss that about JVP and Jadihala Urume and other parties, their growth, how healthy is for the Sri Lanka?
I don't know that they're going to grow. You know, this jump from 13, from 1 to 13 to 39 or whatever is of JVP is purely because they were on the backs of the SLFP. I think the election is going to come probably in December, when the JVP are going to be on their own. We'll see whether they get 39 seats. Are they going to get about 15? The Sinhala people realize that these are the guys who are blocking the peace. Where the JHU is concerned, I'll be jolly surprised if they return one person to parliament next time. And if they do, then the Sinhala people deserve what they get. If they want Buddhist monks running around defaming the religion to which my mother belonged, I come from a strictly very potent Buddhist family. My mother's half, my Christian half come from my father. It's time that the Sinhala Buddhists asked, is this what Buddha taught? And once that is pointed out, I think the Buddhist monks will have to pipe down.
Dr. Seneviratna, I have a lot to talk to you, but the time doesn't permit. But I have even your interviews in the past, SBS Dateline interviews and Washington interviews, plus extra, plus some of your experience in your profession, that secrecy and health and so many other things I have read, and I have a lot of things to ask, but the time doesn't permit. But as a closing, what would you like to say to the Sinhala and Tamil diaspora?
The Sinhala and, I don't know about the Sinhala diaspora, but the Tamil diaspora have got a major role to play. They have to do, or you have to do, things that Mr. Prabharan can't do in the Vani. That is to raise the level of concern about the international community. Tell the people in the international community what is going on. That 500,000 people are being starved to death. That the Chenchole massacre, where bombs were dropped on 400 innocent children. They call them tiger trainees. Well, the Sri Lanka monitoring mission was there in 2 hours. They confirmed that there were children being trained in the health issues, etc. We are not doing our job. And I'm not being critical of the expatriate Tamils. They think that to throw a couple of $1 million or $1,000 or $1 million or whatever it is the answer. No. It is to involve 1 million expatriate Tamils. I think that the greatest power that Tamils have got is 1 million educated and professional and even non-professional people working in the developed world, earning hard currency. And if we are in a position to stand up and tell our representatives, that's your local representatives, your congressman or whoever represents you, that this is what is going on in Sri Lanka, then ask your papers. Boston Globe already had editorial yesterday, the Washington Post and the other papers, Toronto Globe and Mail, etc. Why have you blacked out Sri Lanka? Do we have to have another massacre in Colombo before you tell the world what is going on in Sri Lanka? And I think that that is a critical role, and the expatriate community have got to face this. And one more word, you may not like it coming from me, but this infighting between Tamil groups outside, it's petty. I mean, who's going to be appointed to the Covil board or some rubbish like that? What does it matter? We are fighting a repressive regime of a barbaric nature. We can't be fighting amongst ourselves. You know, the Sinhalese have got a lot of faults amongst them. They have got about 5, 6, 7 groups. But when it comes to being anti-Tamil, there's only one group, anti-Tamilness. Now, we don't have a pro-Tamil people that all of this petty fighting that goes on. I saw some of it yesterday in Boston, where several Tamil groups refused to come for my meeting because we held it in a hall, a house, which other Tamil groups did not come to. I mean, this is ridiculous. I was in London. I was talking to some Tamil groups. One at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock another group, 6 o'clock another group. I said, second group, why didn't you come for the other meeting? The doctor said, no, you may not understand this as Sinhalese, but we don't actually talk to that other group. All are Tamils. All are fighting for justice and peace. but one Tamil group doesn't talk to the other. Unless you end this sort of nonsense, we are diluting and we are destroying the most powerful weapon which we have got, which is a united, active Tamil expatriate community. You can't opt out of this. You can't take a partisan stance. Either you are fighting for the Tamil people or you don't give a damn. And I urge you to get involved. And if it's a question of even carting me from the airport to give a talk like this, it is still involvement. My greatest worry is that the Tamil people who fled the country because of human rights violations of their own, their human rights violations, usually or most often the 1983 massacre, then come here, settle down, and they don't want to know anything more.
Thank you, Dr. Brian Seneviratna, actually Dr. Seneviratnam. Thanks for your time. It was great to have you here.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.